Welcome to the Double Doinkers with Nick Meyer and Willie J. Gotta give it space. This week we are doing a mock draft for the 2025 season. Let's get prepared to mock drafts. Willie, what is going on, man?
Hey, Nick, how's it going?
Yeah, it's going pretty good. How about you?
It's good. I'm excited. I usually draft on the NFL app. I have a dynasty league on Sleeper, but I usually draft on the NFL app, and I haven't really been on the Sleeper website on desktop before, and it's kind of cool. I'm liking some stuff I see here, and particularly for how to do mock drafts and like how to add things to the queue and stuff. It's cool.
Sick. Yeah, it's Sleeper's an interesting one. I think I have like pluses and minuses about it, but their draft format is definitely nice. It also looks nicer, especially this dark mode.
Yes.
So we're gonna start the mock draft really shortly here because we got a lot of people waiting for us. So as you can see here, if you're watching, we've got a side screen with all of the names on it. If you're listening to the podcast, I'm sorry, this episode probably not gonna make a lot of sense to you. We'll talk about it as we go through. They'll try our best to keep you up to date. Let's talk about news pretty briefly here. So we're not going to get too much into the analytics of it all. But there are some interesting news things that if you haven't been paying attention to, you should. Rashawn Slater, left tackle for the Chargers, one of the best left tackles in the league, out for the season.
Probably the best pure tackle in the AFC, arguably. And that's a huge hit to Justin Herbert and the Chargers' run game and just the whole offense. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's enough for me to really significantly drop any players, but it makes me more cautious for sure.
Mm-hmm. Tajay Spears, it sounds like he has a high ankle sprain.
That's never good.
Yeah, that might be good for Pollard.
I was high on him without Spears being out. I'm even higher on him now. Yeah. I have a feeling I'm going to reach on him in this mock draft.
That's fair. Alexander Madison underwent season-ending neck surgery, so he's no longer one of the backups in the Dolphins, which sucks because he looked pretty good. That's also likely a career-ending injury for him.
Was it 22 when he was on the Vikings? He had that one
year.
Yeah. Was he the primary back that year? I think he was.
He was, and he couldn't score a touchdown that year. It was like impossible for him to score a touchdown.
I remember that. Yeah.
Whereas he went to the Raiders and he did okay for a little bit as a backup. Malik Neighbors is still having issues with his toe, even though everyone says that he is going to be fine. Just worth watching, I suppose. Matt Stafford hasn't practiced, hasn't played. Matt Stafford is such an important player to the Rams offense that I wouldn't be terribly worried based on what they're saying, but you have to be worried because Jimmy Garoppolo, even if he is one of the better backups, is still not Matt Stafford. It could really tear down a lot of this offense fantasy-wise.
Yeah, and if Stafford's out, I'm really high on Puka this year, but I have to drop him down just a little bit, like towards the very round. Yeah. Like we just see how Stafford hyper targets his best players, and Garoppolo. I don't really want to talk about what Jimmy G looks like leading an offense.
No.
So it will be interesting.
100.
Also, I wanted to mention James Cook signed a 4-year contract extension, and he gets, I believe, $33 or $30 million guaranteed.
James Cook is locked in.
Good for him. I mean, honestly, I like that. So, running backs, regardless of the player and regardless of their longevity, well, not regardless of the player, but regardless of their longevity, they are such a important piece of the offense. And if your wide receiver 2 or your wide receiver 3 is making more money than running backs, it's just not fair. So I like to see running backs get paid.
Me too. I'm moving really quick through this news for anyone who's watching, just because we are going to start this mock draft and there are people waiting. So Romeo Doubs, he's hurt. We don't know for sure if it's like a big injury, but Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed are both currently hurt.
Jaden Reed's in a walking boot, yeah.
Yeah, and Jaden Reed if you listen to the interviews about the injury, he's being very vague and very cryptic. Sounds kind of bad. But we can't tell because he won't say exactly what's going on.
Yeah.
And finally, Brandon Ayuk is on track to return around week 6. So we can push Brandon Ayuk way down our draft board.
I have not thought about him in a minute.
Okay. With that said, everyone's here.
Looks like it.
you can see on our whatever side. It's not important. We are going to go ahead and get started on this mock draft. So let me click some buttons. Tell everyone we're going.
There we go. And Nick, you have pick 3, and I have pick 11 in this 12-team PPR mock draft. 11 rounds.
Okay, here we go. So there are 11 rounds. There's no defense, no kicker. The rosters look like single QB, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 2 flexes that are wide receiver or running back, a tight end, and 3 benches. So for me, what this means essentially is that it's not exactly like a normal league per se, but it is, however, enough to get a gauge on the value of each player in the first 11 leagues outside of a super flex.
I think what makes it maybe not a normal league is most leagues have a kicker and a defense, but there's really not a lot of strategy to drafting them, and you're going to take them with your last pick, ideally. So, yeah, this is, I think, in terms of PPR, in terms of like how many starting spots you have, this is pretty standard. We got D Blizz here taking his time.
This is likely to happen for a little bit.
We got Bijan off the clock.
And that's a shame because, of course, that's who I wanted here. So Jamar Chase and Bijan are off the clock. Now, up next, it says I should take Saquon Barkley, but if you've listened to the podcast, you know that I'm not going to take Saquon Barkley.
I know who you're taking already,
yeah. Yeah, you probably do. It's going to be Jahmyr Gibbs. I'm going to go easy on this one.
I thought you were going to take Genty, honestly.
Oh, well, I thought about it, but the tier break for me where I would take Genty is right after this.
Right after,
Jahmyr Gibbs is the last player that I would draft above Genty for sure.
Those are my top 3 for players in this draft.
I can make an argument. I do like Amon-Ra St. Brown here. Puka, if Stafford was guaranteed to play, I'd be almost in on it. Almost.
Yeah.
But with Stafford's question marks, you can't drop this early of a pick on him.
Yeah, I do like wow, I'm blanking here. I like CD at his spot. I'm kind of indifferent on Jefferson, but I mean this is how the first round is going to be pretty standard, I would guess. And these first 3 picks are pretty great.
It's yelling.
We got CD. Oh, wow.
And they were ready to go. Saquon and Puka off the board. So let's see. So who are you looking at right now, Willie? Who are you hoping makes it to you?
Well, there's a couple players. I mean, Genty is looking pretty nice right now. I do like the idea of
Genty went.
I did the neighbors. I like the idea of doubling up. Well, actually, I'm not even going to say it. I do like the. Never mind. I got a strategy, and I'm just going to let it happen.
Well, here's the good news for you, Willie. If you think someone's watching the stream for the YouTube, it's like 20 seconds behind. So.
Oh, love to see it.
They're stream sniping you. I know this is hard because I think in the couple rounds, the first round for me is not too worrisome, especially at the top. I mean, you get really like whoever you want. At the back, it's a little different, but then it's like that third round turn.
It's when it gets and this is like we see some good players fall, like Genty going, at number 8. I like that. Jefferson to Beaver Bias. Spencer's come a long way since picking Baker Mayfield first overall his first year in the league. Shout out Spencer. We got Double Doink.
Double Doink. That is Janice. She helps run our social media. In case you guys like that.
Nico. All right. So there's some players I like here. I really like, if you have a late round pick, I like double tapping the wide receivers, just because there's a lot of great value, especially in second year players or younger players like a Neighbors and a Brian Thomas and Nico and a London. But I personally am really high on Devon Achane, and I like his value here. I think that he took so many passes that he could be seen as a wide receiver, and that's how they played him last year. In terms of his targets. Okay,
all right, so we at the first turn we had Derrick Henry and Brian Thomas Jr. go. So Will, your backup. You've got Devon Achane. Who are you going to follow him up with?
This is a smash. So I like the strategy of doing a risky player and a safe player when you're picking.
Dude, yeah, you got set up.
Not a perfect example here with Amon-Ra and Devon Achane. I love that start.
That is
Amon-Ra is one of the safest players in the draft. Achane is one of the highest upsides.
If you could turn that pick, that if you could every round have that turn, be Amon-Ra St. Brown as your second pick, you're doing great.
Amazing. My focus in this, I'm gonna try and focus on since I picked so close to the turn, I'm going to try and go back and forth between like high ceiling, low floor, and like mid ceiling, high floor kind of player. So like safe, risky. Not going to stick to that, but I'm going to try and like maybe focus on that as one of my strategies. Okay, first tight end got Bowers off.
There's this Beaver bias. He's got Jefferson and Bowers to start off with, so
that's pretty nice.
Yeah. Nice. Brees Hall. Brees Hall already went. That's nuts. Okay. Lad McConkey.
Oh, you're up. Okay.
All right. So I am up here. So, okay. So I've got Jahmyr Gibbs. So I've already got that running back that I really, really want. I am, however, liking the running back value here a lot more still than the wide receiver. This is like one of those weird things about the first half picks is taking that first running back almost locks me into like this robust running back strategy I found in my particular mocks because the running backs that are here provide me so much more value than the wide receivers. Like I don't want Tyreek Hill, to be honest. AJ Brown scares me also. So who I'm going to take here is going to make you a little mad probably. I'm going to take Chase Brown.
I like that. I would have taken him too. I don't like the receivers with the 2-3 turn. I really don't.
It's
there goes Brown and Hill. Hell yeah.
I mean, it's too risky for me. Like I look at Chase Brown and I look at those two receivers, and every day it's Chase Brown.
Yeah.
All right, first QB off the board. Josh Allen just went 3-2.
I like that. I like that a lot. Pairing Josh Allen and Jamar Chase is nuts. Definitely. If you're going to go, like we said, if you're going to go early QB, take Josh Allen at the turn. It's just a lot of points.
Okay, so this is where I'm going to start my reach because I do want a wide receiver here. I don't want to go so heavy, robust running back that I'm left with nothing at the wide receiver position. However, the top wide receivers here, I don't really want JSN as my wide receiver 1. He worries me too much with Sam Darnold. As a wide receiver 2, I think I'd take that. I'm going to instead reach, and this is a heavy reach on someone who I've talked about a lot.
I think I know who it is.
You probably do. I want my Cortland Sutton. I am taking him in the 3rd round. I believe in this. I believe in this Bo Nix-led Denver team.
I would have taken Trey McBride there, but again, I'm a big McBride fan. But
I can play up to 4 wide receivers. Taking a tight end that early scares me when I take 2 running backs back to back.
That's fair. I mean, and you're just banking. I'm assuming you're gonna do late tight end at this point. I mean, you kind of have to, but it's fine. Sutton I think he has a higher floor than people or higher ceiling than he's getting credit for.
I think looking at it now, Cortland Sutton. Looking at T. Higgins and Garrett Wilson in particular, if I was being a smart person, particularly, and not drafting with a little bit of my heart here, I think I would have taken T. Higgins or Garrett Wilson just because I think that their ceilings are established.
Yeah.
As being that, or Garrett Wilson at least should have volume. There's no doubt there. Whereas Cortland Sutton could potentially fall off certain weeks.
He could. I mean, at least he's a clear wide receiver 1 on his offense, unlike T. Higgins.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, it's just really that I think the offense is going to elevate. So I think we're going to see him elevate along with it. So, Willie, who are you looking at coming up here? Because we just had T. Higgins go. Lamar Jackson went.
I'm really liking my draft so far. I mean, there's clearly a player, and there he goes. Okay, I was going to take Trey McBride. So I do like my draft a lot so far. I'm kind of indifferent to taking a running back or wide receiver. I just want to take who I like the best. Kittle is tempting. I'm going to go on upside with running back again and smash Green Hampton, though.
Yeah.
Just with that, I feel like St. Brown is so safe, and having 2 just extremely high ceiling running backs is a good complement to that. Even with the news of, Rashawn Slater getting injured, at the end of the 3rd round is definitely good enough for me to take Hampton, especially if Najee Harris is practicing. There goes JSN. All right.
Okay, so you're back up. So Kittle went, unfortunately, so you can't have smashed Kittle on the way back. You do have options here.
I do have options.
You really could go any which way because you've got 2 running backs, 1 wide receiver. That leaves the whole field open to you.
I'm gonna keep my strategy of risky and safe and just go with Mike Evans. Chris Godwin, it might start the year on the pup. Emeka Ibuka is looking really great in camp, but he's a rookie. I think Evans is still going to be the focal point of this offense. and they're going to try and get him 1,000 yards again. I mean, they want him. The Bucks want him in the Hall of Fame and one more 1,000 yards to do.
It's a pick I think is safe. So your wide receivers should each have pretty safe floors, which is good because your running backs are both a little risky.
Yeah.
Jaden Daniels, Kenneth Walker, Kamara. I did like DK Metcalf, but of course he wasn't going to make it back.
Yeah, I like him as I like Max there getting a DK as his wide receiver 1 after getting all those running backs. That's a good approach if you're doing running back heavy.
It makes sense. Yeah, it's a little. I love my wide receivers. It's probably something.
I'm liking the different strategies. So I have some of my league mates and some of Nick's league mates and friends in this draft, and I'm seeing a lot of different approaches of like Beaver Bias is doing the 0 RB strategy.
Okay, there goes Montgomery. Woo. Please believe in this Lions offense. Okay, yes. But here's where you see me. You can go woof when I do this as well. So get ready because I'm passing on the elite QBs that are still there, Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow. I do like both of those guys, and this would be an okay place to take him if I wanted to take a QB early. But instead, I'm swinging for the fences here. All right.
I think you could have gotten him on the flip around, but I do like Tet.
Yeah, well, you're gonna watch me to do reaches and reaches. Unfortunately, here's one thing that I do in drafts is that ADP. I almost completely ignored after the first 2 rounds.
After the first, yeah, I mean, yeah, it went to. For me, it's like once I get into like round 6, but I would have taken maybe James Conner there. You would have had 3 really elite running backs. But hey, I mean, I like Tet.
Oh, you'll see when they come around. So I'll tell you what I'm looking at right now. All
right.
So if I was going safe, when I want another receiver or running back, I would have taken Chuba probably. I like him, and Rico Dowdle doesn't present much of an issue for me. For wide receiver, I could have taken Pickens or Jameson Williams, but I didn't really want another Lions player after taking Jahmyr Gibbs.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to once again swing for the fences because I think if this pick hits, then I do have an elite running back stable, and we're going Travion Henderson.
I would have done the same. I would have gone him or RJ Harvey. Your players, even though you reached on some, I still feel like Cortland Sutton and Tet are their number 1 receiver. So if you're going after a player that has, and you have 2 great running backs, so if you're going after a player that's maybe a little bit more risky but high upside, I think that's a good approach.
Yeah, I think what I'm looking at right now is I like the players that are on hopefully ascending offenses after the first 2 rounds. Like I've got my established offense, I got a Lions player and I've got a Bengals player. And then after this, I'm looking at teams that I expect to do better than they did last year and kind of what pieces help them do that.
Yeah. And I mean, you can only go up with the Patriots.
All right. So I can't do anything but go better.
I really wanted Rashee Rice. You would not be surprised.
Right.
Okay. So there's
Rashee Rice. Yeah. Go on.
There's just some good players that just went off the board. I'm not going to go QB right now. I'm definitely looking at RJ Harvey. I already have 1 rookie running back, but God, I love rookies. Just looking at possible reaches here. I see some reaches, but I'm going to wait until the 6th round pick because I can come back around and snag them. So I'm going to go with RJ Harvey.
Okay, so RJ Harvey's a great pick. Followed up by Isaiah Pacheco.
I'm not opposed to Pacheco.
No.
And people are talking about Elijah, what's the 49ers guy, and then like the 7th round rookie. Like it's still going to be Pacheco's. It's going to be his backfield. I'm not judging that. Okay, so I'm considering Xavier Worthy here. Looking at it, I don't like any tight ends or quarterbacks here. The player I would reach on, and I think I'm going to do it. This is definitely a homer pick. I've talked about him a lot, but I'm going to go.
Trust your heart. Trust your heart.
There's 2 players in the same offense, and I'm going to swing. Oh, he's going to. Let's go Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard. There you go. All right. Which again, if the Tajay Spears news ends up being something more serious, and even if it doesn't, Tony Pollard was the better player last year.
Yeah, exactly. And the one thing I did that I don't regret, but I probably could have reconsidered is that the fact with this format, I have one of these players. I already drafted the best player, but I think that if you're trying to win your league, like you need to have an elite bench too. And on a weekly basis, I'm not going to be starting both rookies, at least not the start of the season. So that was kind of my approach with the risky pick of Harvey and then going the safe pick with Pollard. He's going to eat up so many dump offs, and he's just clear RB1. He's going to get so many just rushing yards and opportunities.
Well, so here's the pick where I can start deciding if I really want to go all in on something or not. So I could take Bo Nix here and really just like say this is what I'm betting on the Broncos to be a good team, which let's be real, as a Raiders fan, I do hate that. But
I can take Nix at 6 too.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take someone again with more upside. Not that Nix doesn't have a lot of upside, but someone that I think could potentially have a breakout season, and that is going to be Roma Dunze.
I disagree. Would not have taken him. I mean, obviously I'm a Bears freak, but that offense is giving me a headache.
Yeah, but you're as a fan of the Bears, it will give you a headache no matter what.
Yeah.
I get you. I think that Roma Dunze has more talent at this point. I don't trust DJ Moore anymore.
I agree. I totally like Odunze's ADP more than DJ Moore.
Mm-hmm.
TJ Hawkinson. I like Hawkinson this year.
Hawkinson, I feel like he's a very safe choice at tight end.
Especially if Addison's suspended. Like he has an opportunity to finish as tight end 1, and I wouldn't be shocked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like this Jersey Boy draft with Jamar Chase, Josh Allen, and TJ Hawkinson. There's good odds that all the players finish number 1 at their position.
Yeah.
Johnson. All right, I like that.
The Travis Hunter pick, I was thinking about doing it, and I'm like, if I took Tet and Henderson and Travis Hunter,
I would not. Yeah,
it's the youth movement going on. Okay, so this is where do I pull the trigger? Oh, I am going to do it for the mock draft. I'm going to pull the trigger for the mock draft. So I waited around the turn, and I still got Bo Nix. I'm going to go all in on the Broncos. I will tell you here, if I wasn't going Bo Nix, Evan Ingram is on the board. He's someone who I probably would have taken. And Tyrone Tracy is on the board, and Stephon Diggs. Those were the 3 names I was looking at.
I like all those picks, honestly. Tracy has really shot up my board a lot.
The injury to Scadaboo has provided like opportunity, and again, I believe I had like a pretty long segment on Tracy earlier on in one of our pods, but I like Tracy's talent. He just has to stop fumbling at really important moments in games.
He's a converted wide receiver. I mean, he played receiver at most of his years at Purdue, so he's like a PPR machine. Again, the Giants aren't a great team, but number 1 there easily. Oh, see, I'm glad that happened because I was really considering taking Brian Robinson, and I don't need 5 running backs to start my draft. So thank you. Okay, well, I don't know here. So I still need my quarterback and my tight end. Evan Ingram's off the board. He's the only tight end I'd really consider taking at this point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, receiver is what I would pivot to. Looking at quarterback, like, there's no value here. So I think naturally I would go receiver. I am going to reach a little bit, not in my opinion, but reach a little bit and take.
Yeah, I don't feel like that's a huge reach. It looks like it is ADP wise right now, but Stephon Diggs at the bottom of the 7th is the wide receiver 1 for the Patriots.
Yeah, and if the Patriots really do break out this year, like he's the number 1 guy there for sure. I mean, maybe not for sure, but
yeah. So the reason why I was pretty happy to take Henderson early, it applies to all of the Patriots, is that Henderson looked great in the preseason. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't him who actually convinced me. It was how good their offensive line looked. Their offensive line was dominant, and I know that they're not like facing crazy schemes, but they've invested in it, and if it is dominant, they're going to have a good team.
The preseason, maybe we can talk about the preseason a little bit. The Patriots whooped the Commanders, and again, preseason doesn't matter that much. But looking at Trayvon Henderson, like that was not a fluke thing. Like he had a 100-yard touchdown kickoff return. Like he's looked
so fast. Yeah, that's real. That was true. Everything that people were saying about how fast he is, it looks real even against the other NFL players.
Yeah, I mean, it's just undeniable. Really not liking any players.
So the eighth round is where you start losing
This is kind of just where you go for your guys in a lot of ways. Okay, I'm running out of time here. I'm just gonna go and swing here for. I've already taken some rookies. Okay, we're just gonna go safe.
Jacoby Myers is a safe pick. That's a good pick. He's going to provide you a pretty safe floor as a flex player.
Yeah, and that's kind of my strategy here. I have some depth already, and I have some good flex plays.
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit, like how the draft strategies end up working, right? And I already look at my team, and I'm like, my team is one of those teams that if it doesn't do well, it's going to sink pretty hard. Yeah. And I'm okay with that. I don't mind that. I like the risk of it. Whereas I can see yours is going to be you're going to be in the thick of it almost no matter what. And if you have pop-offs, you have a chance to really shoot for something.
Exactly.
That's just different strategies, right? Depends on what you want.
A lot of it, like we talked about on the last pod, a lot of it does come down to where you're picking. Because things always change, but there's a lot of players that go around the same spot, even into like round 6, 7, 8.
Okay, so I'm going to see if I can pull this off. I'm going to take Matthew Golden here.
I like that.
This is rookie stuff, man. I'm taking more rookies. I know I am, but this is a rookie in a situation that has just opened itself wide open for him.
Again, I was really low on the Packers offense, but I definitely like him. Besides Josh Jacobs and Tucker Kraft, I like him the most for the Packers. Just because he's a first-round pick. He's the first-round receiver from the Packers in 20 years. He just with the injuries, like they're gonna want to get him involved. I see D Blizz is going after some rookies too. I like that Caleb
Johnson level. Yeah. That's a nice little
setup.
I am noticing so ADP slippers right now. That's probably not the people who are dropping in ADP right now are the people on the Browns.
Yeah,
and everyone who's been hurt. Oh, and Jersey Boy took Jordan Mason. That's the player I was gonna take. So good. Dang it, that's exactly what I was gonna like. I needed this running back on this good team that has a potential to usurp, and I didn't get him.
I like Ibuka too, the another rookie. I like him with the Godwin injury.
Okay, so now I need to pivot. Oh, I was so certain. Okay, that's all right. This is what happens. I'm going to take a player that I've also talked a lot about that I really, really love here. I'm taking Josh Downs.
I knew it.
It's okay. He was sitting there for me. He was my insurance policy. Gosh, taking a receiver on the Colts, that's a foolish thing to do.
I mean, hey, we're in the 9th round. We're only doing 11 rounds, and I still feel really good about the value of quarterbacks and tight ends. I'm almost certainly going to tap both mine coming up here.
But you've got a turn coming up.
Yeah, there's a few guys I like on either side. So,
gosh, if I knew anything about Jaden Reed's injury, this would be such a good value on Jaden Reed right now.
The walking boot is just not good.
Walking boot is not good in how cryptic he has been about it when he says, I'm not going to answer anything because I don't want to be the one responsible for the answers. That's scary.
That's fair. And LaFleur has not said anything.
No. There goes Jaden Reed. You say his name and he shall go. Juwan Jennings is a player I like here, but I know we've had disagreements about that.
Roshan, I like the upside there. Okay, so there's some tight ends I like. There's only one person picking here before me. It's hard. So I'm gonna go. So I'm looking at the flex. Is there any players that I definitely see value in that I really want? Honestly, not that much. So I'm gonna go quarterback or tight end. I think just because he's less likely to be here, and there is a couple quarterbacks I like. Oh God, I'm gonna go with
Isabella's categories is what I've been told.
Oh, good.
This is a hard spot to be in right here because I can see maybe like some value, but you're running into these scary propositions, right? So Juwan Jennings, who wants a contract and is quote unquote hurt. Justin Herbert, who's lost a line member, but did gain Keenan Allen, and like I won't throw that under the bus. Jordan Love went. That's a good pick, Trent.
I considered him too.
J.K. Dobbins is the really unfun pick, and then Isaac Grendo in the 10th round, which could be a great pick.
Great insurance policy. So my homer pick here with upside would be Caleb Williams, but I really like that. And
picking up Dak.
He's gonna be throwing the ball a lot.
You still have Javonte Williams and J.K. Dobbins. These are two players that you really don't want, but they could provide value for you on the board.
Kyle Pitts, let's go.
Oh man,
Oh,
Kyle
yeah.
Pitts. Right after a Jonnu Smith to Kyle Pitts. That's Arthur Smith's dream.
And Jalen Warren's in there too.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yikes.
Yeah, Max's draft has been pretty bad. And just shout out Max though.
Genty Irving. You know, it started off promising though.
Yeah, it did, and then just fell off.
That's fair. It does that sometimes.
Purdy.
You gotta.
I like the auto draft team 6. Njoku and Brock Purdy is a great late tight end and quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, but he already has Lamar Jackson, so you got your auto draft doing some weird things here. People are going to do that in your home leagues, by the way. They are going to take 2 QBs. Just get ready for it. I disagree, but people will do it.
How many rookies do I got so far? I got Hampton, Harvey. Okay, only 2 rookies. I'll most likely, in my next pick, I'll probably swing for another high up. But we'll see where the value's at.
Okay, so let's make a dumb pick. That's what I'm calling it a dumb pick. I actually have a lot of faith in this. But we've had disagreements here, and it's not a tight end. The tight end's last. I can't care about my tight end.
All right,
you can't make me care about him. So I am going to swing on a running back that I think has a chance to take almost all the touchdowns from their team, and I had him on my board, and he disappeared. Okay, there he is. Tank Bigsby.
I like that. No, I like that a lot.
He's someone who, if he doesn't work out, it doesn't tank my team. Get it, Tank. But if it does work out, I could have potentially a strong wide receiver 2. I'm doing this running back 2 on my team that's just sitting there in my flex or bench.
You're taking the running back 4, right? I like Darnell Mooney a lot. I think the possibility there, like if he's your RB4, like he could, Liam Cohen offense, he could really eat up a lot of. He's not going to get targets. He's not a pass catching back, but he could eat up a lot of goal line work.
Yep, and exactly. I really hope that if the Jags get better, Tank Bigsby's a guy who benefits a lot. And then for my tight end, my final pick here, I am going to take Jake Ferguson.
Nice. I like that.
Which I'm happy that he kept just sliding there. It's fine.
I kind of wish I got in Kraft and Love or Dak and Jake, but still happy. Okay, we got some. There goes Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah, it's the auto draft team. Pick Purdy and Ayuk nightmare sack.
Okay, all right. So I think I'm going to take a running back here. I have 4 receivers and 4 running backs, and I haven't taken a running back since Pollard. I'm just going to look at the receivers. There's really no one that stands out. So with the running backs, I think you probably know who I'm going to take here. There's 2, maybe 3 insurance policy backup running backs that I think could become RB1 in the right situation. The one I'm not going to take is Trey Benson, but I do like him, and I am going to take my guy, Ray Davis.
Yeah, that's a good one. I saw his name down there, and I'm like, we're definitely getting a Ray Davis pick right at the end here.
Yeah. What do we got for last pick here?
Mr. Irrelevant coming up.
Najee Harris still on the board. Take Caleb.
Trent, what are you going to do? Dun, dun, dun. Oh, this is a big pick. He knows he's Mr. Irrelevant. This is what. Oh, Todd Gurley. yeah.
RB1.
Good for you, Trent. Trent. I like it. Trent being a resident LA Rams fan, so.
All right, you gotta respect it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to take a look here and look at our individual teams. I mean, just maybe kind of look at some teams and like some picks we like, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Or maybe even things that maybe we would have done differently if this was like a live draft. So let's talk about your team first, Willie.
Okay. I like it all right.
It's fair. Okay, so you got let's look at it first off. Your QB Dak Prescott, so that's solid value. I don't think there's a way that he fully busts per se. Worst case, you're looking at like
injury
14 to 16. That would be like the true worst case for Dak, I think, or injury.
Yeah.
But I don't expect that. That seems like a pretty low chance of that happening. Running back and wide receiver depth are about the same here. Your running backs are more risky. H.N., who I don't know if risky is exactly the word I want to use, right? Because if he's on the field and he's playing, he's going to be great. And it's not that he's had an issue being on the field last year. We saw that wasn't true. Just his rookie year.
Yeah.
The true injury, the true risky pick, or what makes Achan really risky for me is Tua, actually,
Sure.
more so than anything else. And
just the Dolphins in general. Yeah.
yeah, there's bad vibes in the Dolphins for me. The whole Tyreek thing just feels like bad vibes are going on.
Yeah.
Omarion Hampton, I love that pick. If Omarion Hampton had made it back to me at the 3rd round, I might have gone 3 running backs. So thank you for saving me from that. No, he had made it back to me at the 3rd round.
I mean, you went Cortland. I mean,
yeah.
You got to take your guy.
Yeah, RJ Harvey, Tony Pollard, solid. I think RJ Harvey might be a little risky if you want to put any emphasis into what Sean Payton said and the depth chart they provided.
I remember last year, Bo Nix was quarterback 3. I mean, Sean Payton. I forgot about this, but Sean Payton always puts rookies last in the preseason, so that didn't really scare me. But I mean, again, he's like a 25-year-old rookie on a kind of unknown offense. I mean, I think they're going to be great, but definitely a risky pick. I think that I didn't really intend this, but I took like the wide receiver 1 on every single one of my receiver picks is very safe. So Evans, St. Brown, Diggs, Myers, solid. No, not a whole lot of ceiling, but very solid.
Mm-hmm. Well, then it's a good strategy. So you've got the more risk on the running backs, but you've got a solid foundation for your wide receivers.
Yeah, and that was kind of the approach of this draft I was trying to take. So I'm glad that worked out.
Yeah, and then it's essentially the punt TE, punt QB, because they're like 2 of your last picks here. So if they don't work out, it's not like it hurts to really like throw them away.
Yeah.
I'm going to just answer some questions I see on the stream chat here because there's a few. So they asked, what do we think about T. Warren?
Where do we get T. Warren at?
Tyler Warren, he went
8th round. Okay.
8th round, 2nd tight end past Trey McBride.
We got 3 tight ends from Double Doink.
Three tight ends is not what I love.
No.
I don't love that. But Tyler Warren, just speaking independently as a player, I really like what they've been talking about with him.
Yeah.
He sounds like he might end up being a target hog in a bad offense. And if you remember, that's exactly what Brock Bowers was last year.
Exactly.
And Tyler Warren has a lot of talent. So
he's one of the latest tight ends that I could see finishing as tight end 1.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we have another question here. I mean, we're actually just kind of talking about it. So this is we'll love some opinions on favorite teams, least favorite teams. So I think we'll work through that a little bit here. I'll talk about my draft strategy real quick. So for me, it ended up being pretty balanced. As far as team composition went, I think at number 3 overall, starting with the running back, really made me want to go super running back heavy, which is very opposed to my actual nature as a drafter, which is probably why I didn't do it. I think looking back on it, if I had been just full on best player available, I would have had 3 running backs in the first 4 rounds, and that's a little scary.
Which one would you have taken? Like,
it would have been either Jonathan Taylor or Marion Hampton, depending on how. With the running back stable I have, Gibbs and Brown before it, it likely would have been Omarion Hampton for the chance that he really pops off.
Yeah.
Because I can afford to have a bust at that pick. But starting off with Gibbs and Chase Brown, those are 2 PPR running backs that I don't see a method of them falling out of the top like 15.
Those are awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Then Henderson and Bigsby is the 2 flex / bench running backs. That is a little risky in my mind. There's not like a huge amount of depth.
I would have really liked personally if you had gone running back heavy, leaned into it, took Gibbs, Chase Brown, Hampton, and James Conner. That would have been. I mean, again, so you only have 1 flex spot, so you're going to be having Hampton on your bench and then James Conner. So that's a little bit risky, but that's just really, really solid running back depth. Just clearly have the best running back tandem in the league.
Yeah, it's and I'll tell you the reason why I stayed away from that is just simply because of being able to play 4 running wide receivers. In my mind, if you're not one of the top like 5 running backs, I would rather have a top 10 wide receiver.
Yeah, that's respectable.
Maybe even top 15 wide receiver. I just feel like they're more consistent, and I don't know exactly the way I want to put this. They're more likely to score 15 plus on a regular week than like the RB 14 is to score 10 plus.
Yeah, and that's been consistently that's what what's happened.
So I like playing wide receivers, but that's also just kind of in my mind my general strategies. I don't I don't want to do good. I want to do great. Which that sounds stupid, and it is kind of stupid because the opposite side of if you want to do great,
it sounds like something a running back would say to the media.
yeah. Like, but if you want to do great, the other part is that you can do really poorly with the strategy. So Henderson for me is the big question mark on this team. If Henderson ends up being a top 10 running back, I think this team is stacked running back wise. But if not, then I'm in trouble. Cortland Sutton, Tet McMillan, Roma Dunze, Matthew Golden, Josh Downs. When I say that wide receiver room out loud, it doesn't sound great.
There's going to be at least one of those guys is going to be a top 10 guy. I feel like there's a lot of potential in those offenses for all five of them. Maybe not Downs as much, but you got him really late.
Yeah. Like, if I'm looking back on it, the only thing I might have changed is either going RB heavy or maybe even picking up a wide receiver in the first round as my third overall pick. Now, over Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't really love that when I say it out loud. This is just like in hindsight at that first pick and understanding what happens at the 2-3 turn.
Yeah.
That might have been the move.
I like Lamb. I mean, I would take Lamb 3 overall. But I would take Gibbs over him. I like that. I just think Gibbs Brown, that draft, that start is really good.
And this is why the strategy in my mind is important, because you have to go into this thinking about this stuff. And I didn't hear, right, because I don't have any picks that I've tried in drafts that are this early. That 2-3 turn really feels like wide receiver, running back heavy. That 2-3 turn has really good running backs hanging around, and the wide receiver depth falls off a cliff as far as that first tier of wide receivers.
It really does, yeah. And it doesn't, not until like the early third, more like the mid third, where you actually feel comfortable taking some of the receivers that end up going in that turn. I'm just looking at some teams here. I really like, not crazy about the last two picks, but I really like Beaver Bias and how they're swinging on upside. Jefferson and Bowers, that's just a monster start. I'm not a big fan of taking QB early, but again, Daniels and Bowers and Jefferson, like that's just a lot of points, and you can win so many weeks with just those three players. I really hate DeAndre Swift as your RB1, but if you're taking your first running back in the 6th round and it's DeAndre Swift, you could do a lot worse. And then getting ETN in the 8th is also really nice value. And you got Ingram. I really like the first 8 picks of that draft.
I'll tell you what, though, actually, the last 2 picks, Javonte Williams and Ramondre Stevenson, I think they're only good in this sort of team because you don't need rock star production out of your running backs in this sort of team. What you need is any production. And they're going to have some volume. Now, like, you can get buried in the 5-point per games, but if you're looking at like 10 to 12 points, which is big ask from Ramondre for sure. Maybe Javonte gets there through sheer volume.
Also, I mean, it doesn't really matter because even if you're getting those really stinky weeks, you still have Jefferson, Bowers, and Daniels getting you like 20 plus points each every week.
That's why I think with those two, this is the only team they would work on. So good on you for picking up the one players that no one else could really use with Javonte and Ramondre. That's good value for there because you have players that are going to get touches.
That's a good way to look at it. Yeah, I like that draft a lot. It's probably my favorite. Shout out Spencer. I do like the start or parts of the first Dylan's here. The first. Not a big fan of Tyreek Hill, but Bijan, Williams, Hill, Smith as your guys isn't terrible. A little early for Joe Burrow, but very early for Chris Olave. But I do like this 3 rookie run here you get late. Caleb Johnson, Loveland, and Ibuka. It's just the odds are one of those rookies is really going to pop off, and you're taking them outside the first 6 rounds, and you're taking them like consecutively. I like that approach, and I love Mooney as the last pick.
I really like Jersey Boys draft.
Corey,
yeah. I think that the wide receiver depth scares the heck out of me. But other than that, Jamar Chase, AJ Brown, Josh Allen, James Conner, Chuba Hubbard, Tyrone Tracy, Jordan Mason, like these are names that could be very relevant.
Very relevant.
And yeah, this feels like a team that you're going to need to pick up wide receivers, but you can pick up wide receivers. Shoot.
And this is a team where, like, if you have trades in your league, some of these running backs, if there's a lot of injuries, your running back depth is going to be coveted. Like, if you could safely, sell off Jordan Mason after he like starts the season huge, and you could get like a really great wide receiver that maybe hasn't been performing as well. Like, you could trade a Jordan Mason for a Rashee Rice like after week 5 and like really return value on that. So I do like that team a lot too.
Yeah. So
Um,
the team I like the least is the our namesake, unfortunately, the Double Doinkers team, and that is it ended up doing wonky things. So you have Trey McBride, Warren, and Likely, so 3 tight ends and 2 QBs in 11 rounds.
I do love the first 3 picks quite a bit.
Yeah. Nico Collins, Drake London, then Trey McBride, even followed by Marvin Harrison and Rashee Rice. That's could be a phenomenal 0 RB start. Unfortunately, they just kind of kept going with no RBs, no depth after that.
I would have skipped out Emma Holmes for sure and taken like a DeAndre Swift here, but I do like the fact that you got Brian Robinson in the 7th. Again, not my ideal RB1, but I really think Brian Robinson could be a top 10 running back just by being a goal line back in an ascending, possible top 5 offense. I think that he could really, really hit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who I would compare him to. Kind of like James Cook light, last year where James Cook wasn't this like super great back, but he scored so many touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
here. Okay, we have a question here from this chat. That's what's the worst or most surprising pick?
Ooh, Isabella asks.
I have 2 picks, and then unfortunately I went to the 2 bots that we have in here, Team 6 and Team 9. I have Joe Mixon and Quinshon Judkins.
Good, yeah, that's a good question because Quinshon, this Sleeper's not updated the ADP. In case you have not heard, Quinshon Judkins is the only unsigned rookie because he allegedly beat a woman, and it's not looking good for his career in Cleveland to start.
No. He hasn't signed with them still, right? So all the doors are open.
He's the only rookie that hasn't signed a contract, so not looking good. I just realized that his the other rookie running back for Cleveland, Dylan Sampson, did not get drafted, and I wish I'd taken him over Ray Davis, unless I'm missing him here. I don't think he did.
No, I think Jerome Ford went, but I don't think Sampson went.
Oh, I like the Jerome Ford pick then too.
Mm-hmm.
Surprising pick. There was one. I think Cortland Sutton in the 3rd is surprising. No offense.
No, that's fair. That's fair. Like I said, you got to get your guys, right?
Yeah. I really don't like. I would be higher on Dylan's team, but the Chris Olave in the 6th. That's just kind of a personal bias. I just think that the Saints are going to suck, and I think Chris Olave is going to be injured.
There was one pick I saw it, and I was like, "That is shocking," but I can't remember. Oh, Breece Hall in the 2nd at 2-8.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. Yeah,
ahead of Chase Brown, ahead of Kyron Williams, ahead of Jonathan Taylor, ahead of James Cook, ahead of Amari and Hampton. I think that was just shocking. And then David Montgomery in the 4th.
Maybe the Green Bowl knows something that we don't. Like Gibbs is going to get injured or something. David Montgomery is definitely one of the best insurance picks. Like if Gibbs gets injured, Montgomery's going to be RB1 every single week. But Work's a bit rich.
Yeah, it is a little bit rich for me. I mean, he still has fairly good games with Gibbs in there, so it's not like it's like a terrible pick. But man, it's a little scary. Those are probably the 2 most shocking for me. I remember when both of those happened, I was like, oh dang.
Yeah, Breece Hall. I mean, you're living in the past, man. Like, I don't think he's completely washed, but it really seems like it's going to be a committee. Justin Fields is going to be taking the touchdown goal line. Jets suck. I
have been coming around a little bit on Breece Hall, not this much, a little bit, just simply because of all of the talk about his receiving skills again.
You kind of remembering that, yeah.
Yeah, and just to talk about how when the plays break down, I need to remember to throw it to my running back, and how that seems to have been like instilled within Fields.
Fields, yeah. And who is Fields' best running back in Chicago? I can't even remember who it was. Is it like David Montgomery 1 year?
And then after that, it had to have been Herbert.
Is it Khalil Herbert? I kind of just spaced all that. Bears timeout.
Here we go. Got a good question. Who are the Saints wide receivers other than Olave?
Alvin Kamara. Only Saints player I would draft.
Rashid Shaheed. I mean, Rashid Shaheed is likely not going to be that important, but whoa, what a world it would be if he comes out and he just keeps doing what he was doing with Derek Carr.
I think he went undrafted in this draft.
Mm-hmm.
I'd much rather have Rashid Shaheed. I mean, Max makes a good point that there is really a glaring lack of receiver depth on the Saints, and I think Olave's worth a pick. for sure. Like I think that you can consider taking a swing on him, especially if you've taken a lot of other safe picks. But the sixth round, when you have like Travis Hunter's on the board, Khalil Shakir, Stephon Diggs, Jacoby Myers, Jordan Addison, just much safer ceiling receivers, and then going with Olave, I just not a fan of that.
Again, the thing that scares me the most of the Olave is simply the concussion history. It's so bad with him that if he gets one, he's going to be done for the season.
It was the same in college too, I believe. I believe he had at least one concussion at Ohio State.
Okay, so I have another question. Who are you most excited about on the Bears and Raiders this year? I'll just tell you with the Raiders, there's two top tier picks that you're looking at. You're looking at Brock Bowers and Ashton Genty. Of course, most excited about them. Ashton Genty, as Willie mentioned, I would be willing to splash him pretty early just for the homerism of it all, and also because he's got a great opportunity. Brock Bowers had the most rookie receptions of all time, beating out Puka Nacua, which is insane for a tight end just in general.
Yeah, on a bad offense too.
Yeah, he looks to be a generational talent. I also think that there's like potential sneaky depth here. So you got Jacoby Myers, who like you were just talking about with the Chris Olave pick. Jacoby Myers should provide a really safe floor. There's starting to actually get a lot of really good news about Jack Besh in training camp. That wasn't happening at the beginning, but during this preseason, apparently he's became a touchdown magnet, and he's really showing red zone skills. And you're gonna love him if he has red zone skills.
Yeah.
And Dante Thornton is the starting wide receiver too for the Raiders. So there's potential here. There's a lot of players I'm excited about. There's a few that I would be willing to tell you are slam dunks. Genty and Bowers.
You didn't even mention Geno Smith. I think he's got to be the most exciting quarterback. Unfortunately, the most exciting quarterback you've had in a minute.
I don't like to say that though, because I remember when Aaron Brooks showed up at the Raiders, we were excited, and this is forever ago, and you may not even remember Aaron Brooks. He was the Saints quarterback who was like okay, and we thought he was going to be the next thing, and then Jason Campbell came to the Raiders, and we're like, yeah, he's going to be the next thing, and then it always sucks no matter what. So I can't get excited about Geno Smith yet. I want to.
That's the same with the Bears. I mean who I'm most excited about in the Bears for sure is the coach Ben Johnson. I don't think it's really been that close. Like I love a lot of skill position players. There's some of my favorite players in the league are on the Bears. But apart from that, I'm not super excited about any specific players. I'm just excited to see the offense as a whole, and I'm excited to see Caleb Williams in year 2. And I'm just excited to see this Ben Johnson offense.
I really the most tantalizing players to me are the ones I drafted. Roma Dunze for a reason. I'm tantalized by him. I don't think that he's a slam dunk by any means, but I just wonder what could happen if his skills finally match production. DJ Moore is someone who I'm just not excited about. Maybe that's wrong, but I'm just not excited about him this year. I just don't feel great about it for some reason.
If the Bears hadn't drafted Luther Burden in the second round, and Luther Burden is just so similar to DJ Moore, not to disrespect either of them. I mean, they're both great 5-star receiver talents. I think DJ Moore was a 5-star at Maryland, but Burden was a 5-star at Missouri, and they're both yak monsters, great receivers, but they're so similar. And it felt like last year DJ Moore kind of had some bad blood with the offense, or like not the offense. I mean, all of the Bears had some bad blood with the coaching staff and the team last year.
He had easily some of the worst body language I've seen in the NFL in a long time last year. Yeah. Like he was just throwing, he was just yelling. He missed a reception because he had already decided he was out of the play, and he took himself off the field.
And if you look at that, and you maybe like, okay, fresh start, we get Ben Johnson coming in, new start, but then you draft on paper your replacement in the second round. Like, you could look at that either like he wants to prove himself and really like have the best season of his career, or like you could look at that like his ADP, which is like the 4th or 5th round, is way inflated.
Well, and I think about like if you look at Ben Johnson's track record with receivers, right? The receivers which we don't have a ton of, it's really Amon-Ra St. Brown, and but like look at Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's never really been about necessarily his tangibles, right? It's not about his speed. It's not about like his vertical or any of that. It's about how much he wants it, how much he's willing to go out there and block, and how much he's willing to put his body on the line for these hits.
Exactly.
And really Ben Johnson, will go out there and he'll reward this guy. So if DJ Moore is having issues with attitude, I could see Ben Johnson just being like, all right, well, this next 3rd down and 3, you're not the one who's going to be drawn the play for.
Odunze is risky, and I wouldn't take him in the 6th round personally, but like he has one of the highest upsides of any post round 5 receiver easily. Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking at just
Janice wants to know whose team is just out and out worst. And Janice, I'm gonna be rude. It's your team. It's got the 3 tight ends and the 2 QBs. You can't even plug that many in. I mean, you can plug in 3 tight ends, I guess. But
I would say definitely the worst second half team is Max. I mean, just the Jonnu Smith, Kyle Pitts, Christian Kirk. Like what?
That's pretty bad. Yeah.
Pretty awful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Ashley's team, she does look like she's living in the past a little bit. She's got Eckler, Mark Andrews, Debo Samuel, Kamara, Brees Hall, Barkley. These are all like top picks 5 years ago.
This looks like a solid like 10th overall in your league, maybe 9th or 10th. Like not the worst team in your league, but like they're not doing too much. I think besides my own, I think my favorite is probably Beaver Bias.
There you go. Shut off there. Beaver Bias. If I almost wish that they had gotten Juwan Jennings over Jaden Reed at this point, because Jaden Reed just sounds. I really don't like how cryptic they're being, because other than that, that's a good start to that team for sure.
I would not.
I also like. I don't know their real names. M Spinner. The first half of that draft was awesome. It really did just fall apart.
It really did.
Genty,
yeah.
Irving, Cook to DK Metcalf and Jameson Williams to Baker Mayfield. That sounds like a solid start, and then it just falls off a cliff immediately.
I don't hate Khalil Shakir, but I would have taken other players over him for sure. Genty, Bucky, James. I like, and again, like if you don't take a receiver until the 4th round and your receiver is DK Metcalf, I like that a lot.
Yeah, because I feel like that's such promised production. The volume should be there.
Exactly.
I mean, I guess what I feel in my heart here, the worst team is every team that's not mine.
See, I would put you in my bottom 2. Pretty solid.
No,
I know. I do. I feel like your team is structured to just win weeks outright on Gibbs and Chase Brown alone, and then also I like Bo Nix a lot, and then also you have enough safe floor with like high-ish upside, like the Tet McMillan, Trayvon Henderson, Rome Odunze, even Matthew Golden. Like one of those guys is going to absolutely hit. You just like the strategy you had there was reaching on players that are rookies or like still proving themselves, but they are in opportunities based on target share, based on new offensive structure. They're in opportunities to like just really break out and hit. So one of them is going to hit. And if you pair that with Gibbs and Chase Brown, like that's awesome.
One thing I do go into each draft with, and this is always on my mind, is that no player on my team is sacred. And what that means is that if any of these players don't hit, I'm willing to trade them away or drop them as soon as I need to.
Yeah, that's fair. And you have your cornerstones there. So,
and I don't want to mislead anyone. This has gone wrong for me in the past. This has gone very wrong for me in the past. A couple different times I've finished in the bottom 2 of my league because none of the picks worked out, and I only have one good player. It was just like, oh well, what do I do now? And you're just kind of stuck. So I'm not saying it's not risky. It's very risky.
It really just depends on the year sometimes too.
There feels like there's a lot of good new situations because it is that rookie running back thing.
I do want to mention so far. So I really like Beaver Bias's like fade the running backs and get Swift and ETN, but I really like Jersey Boy Corey fading the running backs until 4 and 5 and getting James Conner and Chuba Hubbard. Like that's.
And then Tyrone Tracy and Jordan Mason. You could that's so solid. It's so good.
And I love Hawkinson and Jamar Chase and Josh Allen. Like, yeah, that's I probably predict this team to win overall.
There you go. Yeah. what else? What else to say about it? I don't want to talk about the auto drafted teams too much, like Team 6 and Team
No.
9. They didn't do particularly well, but that makes sense because they're robots, and robots.
AI will never.
Hot take. Yeah, they can't take over our fantasy drafts. I'll tell you what.
Is there a way to see the players that went undrafted? I don't know if there is. I remember seeing like I saw some players that I liked that weren't taken.
I don't see anything.
I remember seeing Keon Coleman. He stood out to me. Rashid Shaheed stood out to me. Obviously Dylan Sampson, I like him. Trey Benson. So there's definitely, again, this is only 11 rounds. I think most standard leagues do either 13 or 14 rounds because that includes defense, kicker, maybe an additional bench spot or an additional flex.
Yeah, I think my league goes like 17 rounds. And that's not say anything other than like this is very short. This is not nearly what anyone else would have because I got rid of I think 4 bench spots even. Only because in the name of time. Speaking of time, we're at 1 hour now.
Sweet.
So I'm feeling like this is a pretty good place to call it. YouTube comments. If you have one last question, you get it in the next 20 seconds. I'll answer it. Otherwise, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, you know what? Here's the fun thing about mock drafts. I will just tell everyone here. You should do mock drafts because it gives you a better idea of what happens around the pick you're in. Because like I said, if I was the 3rd overall pick, I learned a big lesson about running backs and where they're going in terms of ADP, at least on Sleeper,
and just who you're seeing. Like we talked about in I think it was the last episode. Just like have your kind of like range of players in your tiers, and then like when it comes to your pick, you only got 60 seconds, but you can look at those players that you like and compare them to the players you already drafted and like who's around them. And I think you can just streamline. Like if you do mock drafts, you know which players are going around each pick. You can just streamline and look like, okay, I want these guys. I did my research here. I want this. Like you don't have to overthink it. And I think that's a huge advantage of doing mock drafts because the fantasy is really pick dependent. And again, every year is different. But in my personal league, I'm picking 3rd overall, and I got every single player I drafted in as the 11th overall pick. I didn't get a single player that I'd taken in any mocks when I was picking 3rd. Like every single player was different.
100%.
Except for like Diggs and Pollard, so like some guys that I really like reached on. But like other than that, like it was totally different draft. So definitely would encourage if you're like a commissioner, I definitely would encourage figuring out draft position for your team by now at the latest. It makes it more fun.
Yeah, I do mine in the first weekend of August just to give people time at that point because we do our draft at the very last weekend prior to the season starting.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. There is one last question. Let's lead us off.
Yes.
Yeah, it's an easy yes.
Easy yes.
Unfortunately, it's not that I like Tom Brady, but it's that I really would like him at $1 million.
I'd probably do it for like $100,000.
Dude, he dropped a solid like 25,000 on me just for wearing a shirt all year.
I need to pay off my car, man. I need.
And with that said, Doink out. Thanks for watching.
Thanks, guys.